Hey guys, it's TRX Master Instructor Amy McMullen, and today I've got a 30-minute advanced level lower body workout for you. We're going to be working our hips, our hammies, our quads, our booties. You're going to get some calf work in there. It's going to be the whole nine. It's going to be great. We're going to need the TRX suspension trainer, so go ahead and get that guy set up. You're going to need the RIP trainer. Go ahead and get that guy set up. And depending on what kind of surface you're working on, you may want a mat for the floor work. All right. I've got 3 rounds for you today. Each round has a different lower body focus. First round is hinge. Second round is squat. Third round is lunge, using both pieces of equipment. I'm ready. You ready? Let's go. I'm going to go on our timer. Ooh, if you're tracking your workout on whatever you have to track it with, go ahead and hit go on that bad boy if you want the credit for this. I know I do. So we're going to go ahead and get started on the timer. I need my hairpin right now because this situation is not going to work for me with that little wisp in my face. So let's go ahead and get started with our TRX bottoms up squat. Straps are mid-length. You're facing the anchor point. I'm going to lean back here. I'm going to drop my tailbone down. Now you can actually curve your spine here and just kind of wiggle because that feels really nice. I'm going to straighten up my spine here, turn my palms up and bicep curl myself forward. Now my heels came off the floor, so I'm going to do a little gorilla stomp each leg to get my feet flat. I'm going to wiggle side to side and press those knees out for a little hip scrub. I'm going to get my weight all the way over my feet if I can, turn my palms down, and then tricep press myself up. All right, so I'm going to lean back, drop my hips toward the floor, straighten up my back, palms up for a bicep curl forward, a little stomp stomp, a little scrub scrub. This is a good mobility drill for your hips, knees, and ankles. I'm going to test my weight. Could I take my weight off the straps? If not, no big deal. Just come up higher, turn my palms down, and then stand all the way up, okay? Love that move. It's great for getting a little mobility work for the joints. Let's go ahead and go to our forward lunge with a T-fly. So we're going to face away from the anchor point, palms down at shoulder height, and we're going to alternate forward lunges here. I'm going to move away from my wall so I don't jam my knuckles. I'm going to turn my thumbs up, step forward and drop my back knee, and then step together and switch legs. Step forward, drop the back knee to the floor, and then come back up. My thumbs are going up, so when I open up into that T shape with the arms, I'm getting a nice chest stretch. Oh yeah, turning the palms out to the side, dropping the shoulders down and back, so I feel this in my chest and not my neck. Little proposal knee action, eyes on the horizon. All right, from here, we've got a wide hip hinge. So swoosh around, face your anchor point, palms down in front of you, feet wide. Now, I'm going to take a little hip hinge, so I need a slight knee bend, and I'm going to take a big hip bend, all right? I'm trying to keep my back flat as I hinge forward at the hips. I feel a nice hamstring stretch here, and I'm going to press down in the handles to come all the way back up, all right? So we're working on that hinge motion that we're going to be doing first in this first round of work, all right? And you get a nice little hamstring stretch out of it, which is double whammy. From here, we've got our walking hip hinge. So we need to start getting our weight on one leg only. It's the same hinge move, feet together now. Palms are down. I'm going to take one leg off as I hinge forward. I can use the straps for balance. I'm pressing down on the handles, and I'm going to stand all the way up. One leg off, other leg off this time. Press down, stand all the way up. I'm trying to keep both hips level, so I'm not lifting one hip up or the other. We're just kind of staying level there. All right, so we're going to go ahead and get started. First, we've got a single leg hip hinge, which is what we just did, but we're going to stay on the same leg for 40 seconds. You have the option of doing both hands on the foot cradles for balance or just one hand. So let's start with right foot center with the anchor point, both hands or left hand only. We're going to hinge forward at the hips here, and then we're going to come up, and I'm going to pull that free leg forward. All right. So a hinge is categorized, or like we want to see a slight knee bend and a big hip bend. And like I was saying earlier, we want level hips, so you're not turning out to the side with that chest. So what I'm doing is I'm shooting this hand forward, and I'm sending my heel to the back wall. Now the back leg, it does not matter how high it goes. What we're going for here is a hamstring stretch and then a hamstring contraction to get us back up. This is just gonna kind of get our legs ready for the rest of the work today. Same thing on the other side. So I'm gonna center my left foot with the anchor point this time. If you're going both hands, rock that out. If you're going one hand, put both handles in the right hand. I'm sending my hand towards the anchor as I hinge from the hip, and then I'm pressing down with that arm to get a little bit of stability. So my back heel is going towards the back wall, and then my leg is gonna come up and forward. I'm trying to straighten my hip each rep. So hinging at the hips, pressing down in the hands. Hinging at the hips, pressing down in the hands. So I've got kind of equal tension from my right side, my right arm, and my left hip. If you feel wobbly in your ankle, press that big toe down on the ground, okay? And rest. From here, we've got a TRX hinge. So you can keep your straps at mid-length. I like to bring mine out to about mid-calf or long for this one. We're gonna start facing away from the anchor point. This is a hinge that we're just gonna get the upper body and the core turned on a little bit more. The legs are doing the same thing. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put the straps down on my arms. I'm gonna wiggle my feet back towards the anchor a little bit, and I'm gonna hinge my hips. So the straps are gonna come with me. My arms are kind of staying like super strong, straight Frankenstein arms. I'm gonna straighten my hips and come up onto my toes to straighten this out. Hinge at the hips, set my weight back on my heels. Straighten the hips out, straighten the knees, straighten the hips, high heels, and then sit back on my heels this way. All right, so now I'm gonna make this harder by backing up. I'm gonna straighten out the hips first, the arms stay where they are, the straps stay on my shoulders here. Hinging back, bending the knees, shifting the hips back. Straighten the legs, straighten the hips, all the way out, and then back in. If you've got space to go back further, go back further. I'm on this side of the anchor point now. I hope you can see me. I'm gonna straighten my hips out, squeeze my booty, straighten my knees, come back to here, and just one more, all right? So hopefully you felt your abs a little bit more on that guy. What we're gonna do now is go to the floor. We've got a single leg hamstring curl. My straps need to be mid-calf length, and I'm gonna grab my mat. We gotta get our heels into the foot cradles, all right? So I need bigger foot cradles because I made mine smaller for earlier toes in action. So facing the anchor point, lay back, heels in, gotta get off my mic, straightening the legs out, lifting the hips up. Now, I'm gonna pull my knee in. This hip is gonna stay straight. And then I send that leg out and do the other side. Now, what I'm looking for here is, can you get even tension on both straps? So one heel comes in, legs go out. Other heel comes in, legs come out. Now you can have your hands on the ground, or you can have your hands up in the air like I'm doing, okay? Take a little rest. From here, is this the runner? No, it's not. It's the classic hip press. So you got two options here. You can do a straight leg hip press if you just want to focus on some hip extension, feeling this in your back. If you want to pull those knees in to you for a little bit harder option, we're going to press up in a classic hip press and then back down. If you'll notice, my feet are staying exactly where they are, okay? So I'm not straightening my legs towards the anchor. And if you pulled your heels back towards you, you should feel this a lot in your hips and hammies, okay? Straighten those legs out. I think we are done with the straps for now. Yep, we've got the rip stack with a little lunge shift. So make your way over to your rip. We're gonna put our left hand in the safety strap and cinch this guy up. Left palm down in zone 1, right palm up in zone 4. So basically both at the left ends of the black grips. I'm gonna stand sideways to my anchor point. I'm gonna point the cord end of the bar out in front of me, and I'm gonna take my feet wide. Now, for this hinge, I've got all this resistance from the cord pulling me sideways. I'm gonna pull away from the anchor point into this little hinge, side lunge, and then straighten my legs up. Now you can release the bar after each rep, or you can keep the bar out and kind of fight that rotational force back towards the anchor. I'm shifting my weight over my left heel, picking it back up, and we can release here. Let's go to the other side. So I'm gonna uncinch this, Slide this hand through, re-cinch it, and then set up on this side. Right palm down in zone 1, left palm up in zone 4, or the right side of the grips, facing sideways to the anchor point, cord out in front of me, feet wide. I'm gonna shift my hips over my right heel, bending the knee forward, and then straighten back up. Like I said, you can release the bar each time, or you can hold the bar out the whole time. So my right hand is to my hip as I shift. I keep it there, and I'm fighting these rotational forces. If you've heard of anti-rotation, we're resisting rotation here. The cord is trying to pull me towards the bar, and I'm trying to use my hips, knees, and ankles to stay straight, okay? So now, we will be back here in a minute. I just wanted you guys to get used to that hinging motion. So now, we've got the hinge down. We're gonna add the hinge with the knee bend. We've got the TRX front squat. I want you to lengthen your straps all the way long, face away from the anchor, and get your straps under your arms. Flip your hands over so that the straps are under your arms are free. Walk forward so your chest is to your hands. I say get your chicken wings on. You can borrow that if you want. Walk your feet back so you're on your toes. When you drop your heels, they don't touch the floor. So dropping my hips back towards my heels, straightening my legs all the way up. Dropping my hips back towards my heels, straightening my hip, my knee, and my ankle. Dropping the hips back towards my heels, straightening back up. So what's happening is I've got a hinge at the hips, so I'm not arching my back. I'm driving my head forward like a bull, and now we're adding in the knees. So I'm thinking extension through my ankles, so a little heel raise, straighten the knees, straighten the hips, okay? So we're gonna flip around. We've got a single leg squat now. So I'm gonna take my straps to mid-length, tilting the barrel lock, pulling the adjustment tab up to those mid-length marks. Elbows at my sides. I'm gonna stand on my right foot first. So right foot center with the anchor, left foot out. Now, your single leg squat looks like a pistol squat as long as your knees are good. You're gonna send your hips back, your chest forward. So there's a little hinge here, which is okay. Now, if you wanna make this harder, if you're standing on your right foot, grab the straps with your left hand. So there's only one hand on this time. If you can get all the way to the floor, go for it. Use the hand to help if you need it on the way back up. If you don't need it, let go. All right? So now, if you're pulling with all your might to get yourself back up, maybe don't go that far. All right? Let's go ahead and do the same thing on the other side. So we want tight straps. I'm centering my left foot with the anchor point this time, elbows at my sides. Right leg is off, dropping my tailbone back, coming all the way up. Dropping my tailbone back, driving up through the heel. Drop my tailbone back, straighten the knees, straighten the hip, all right? If you wanna try that one arm option, I'm gonna hold with my right hand. I'm gonna scoot a little bit left, so my arm kind of is in line with the anchor point now. And then like I said, if you can go all the way down, go all the way down. But test yourself. Could you hold that at the bottom without the straps? Okay, if you can't, you probably don't need to be going that far down just yet. Booty back, driving up through the heel. All right, what's next? Squat with a stack. So, coming back to the rip, I'm gonna put my left hand in the safety strap, sync this up. I'm gonna go back to that stack position, so same arm setup. Left palm down, zone 1. Right palm up, zone 4. I'm gonna scoot closer to the anchor point this time until I feel how much resistance I wanna take on. So, standing sideways to the anchor point, I'm gonna pull my left hand to my hip, point the cord out in front of me, and then take a squat from here, dropping my tailbone towards the floor, and then standing straight up. Now, your chest will come forward. Squat is a little bit of a hinge. Again, I'm trying to keep the bar straight in front of me while my body does a regular squat. Down and up. I actually just moved my grip to zone 3 in the center of the bar. I like that better. You can do that or not do that. Rest. Okay, so we've got a rip windmill. We're gonna stay here. We're gonna take the bar and draw a big circle like a windmill. However, the body's gonna wanna do this because of that rotational pull. We're gonna keep it straight down and up, okay? Left hand to hip, cord out in front of you. Take the bar up to 12 o'clock. Go away from the anchor point first, draw a giant circle, and then try not to move your knees right and left, all right? That cord is trying to pull us towards the anchor, but we're gonna resist that. So normally with squats and lunges, the resistance comes from the floor or straight above us, depending on where we've got that weight. With the rip, it comes from the side. So it's challenging us on the medial and lateral sides of our joints, which is what we need, a lot of us. Switch sides, stack, then squat. Right palm down, left palm up. I'm gonna scooch in first. Find my stack position, right hand to hip, cord out in front of you. I moved my hand to the middle of the bar, center junction, zone 3. Squat, stand. Dropping my tailbone back. I'm trying to get the crease of my hips down to my knee level, okay? I'm trying not to let that cord pull me in. Take a rest if you need it, but if you don't need it, keep that bar out in front of you. Tailbone back, straighten the knees, straighten the hips. Rest. Windmill is next. Same idea. The body is coming straight up and down. It's not going over and back and around on this one. We're trying to resist that rotation. Find your stack position. Right hand to hip, cord out in front of your hip. Come up to 12 o'clock with the bar. Go away from the anchor point first. Down slowly, back towards the anchor point. Back up to 12 o'clock. What's up, breath, cardiovascular system? Hey, down and out. Oop, I can feel myself twisting a little bit. I'm gonna scooch in so I can maintain that nice squat. Whew, rest. All right, that was round 2. That was the squat round. We're going to our lunge round. So same thing, we got a hip hinge and a knee bend, but each leg is doing something different this time. Lengthen out your straps for the sprinter start. Face away from the anchor point, get those straps underneath you. Now, flip your hand over so that the straps are running under your arms. When we get set up here, the goal is to move with precision. Pace is up to you. I'm gonna go slowly because I gotta talk you through this and I want you to see the sections of all the parts of the movement. You can go faster if you'd like. Chest to hands, get your chicken wings on. Back your feet up, okay? Toes are together. Drop your left foot back. You look like a sprinter in the blocks. From here, I'm gonna stand up with my right leg. You can tap this left foot forward, and I'm gonna reach back down. So I'm pressing up through my ankle, so a little heel raise there, straightening my knee, straightening my hip, reaching back. We call that triple extension, so extension from the ankle, the knee, and the hip, which helps with any kind of forward propulsion. So any of you runners, sprinters, athletes, okay, even everyday peeps, even if you don't do any of that stuff, it's gonna be really good for you. Come on up. Whoo, I'm sweating. Sweaty McSweat sweat. I need an assistant with a towel would be great right now. Maybe one of these days. All right, so we're gonna set up on the other side. Same exact thing. Now remember, this is a strength workout. So we're going more for harder work, fewer reps. Like I said, if you wanna go faster, rock it out. Feet together, back up your angle. This time drop your right foot back. Both heels are off. I'm gonna come up, straighten my left knee and hip, and then reach that right toe back. Come up, straighten my left knee and hip, reach that right toe back. Pressing up through my heel, so I get that little calf action there. And that triple extension that I was talking about just means I'm straightening my heel, my knee, my hip. I guess you can't straighten your heel. I can straighten my ankle though. All right. I'm reaching my tailbone back toward the anchor, driving my head forward like a bull. Could you hold there if I asked you to? All right. We're going single leg hip press. So I need you to get your straps to mid calf length. Single handle mode if you're a beast. This is an advanced level class. I'm hoping you know how to do single handle mode. All right. We're going single leg hip press. So that means you're going to put your right heel in this foot cradle and then lay back. I want you to scoot forward though So your heel is directly under the anchor point. We got 30 seconds here. If you can do a single leg hip press, go ahead and do that. Press up, back down. If that's not there for you yet, what you're gonna do is you're gonna put your hands on the ground, press your hips up, hold it there, lift the left leg off the floor, and then lower down. Put the foot down to help you press, then lift it off, and then work on the negative, the lowering option, okay? Hips up, leg off, lower down, all right? That's a lot on your hamstring and for your ankle, knee, and hip to stabilize, so that's why I made this one a short one, just to make sure you had it, okay? So if you're doing it all on your own without the extra leg or the arms for help, you should be able to get 6 to 8 reps in. If not, maybe 4 reps with the help. Here we go. Press those hips up. This time you're lifting your right leg up, slowly lowering the hips down. Foot down, press the hips up, lift that leg, slowly lower down. If you don't need the help, keep this leg up. The heel in the strap stays where it is, hips up, lower down. I'm trying to shove my right foot up to the ceiling. My left knee is reaching out towards the straps, and I'm done with that. So go ahead and hop up here. We've got a rip steer with a lunge. Now this is one of my favorite moves. It's just a cool one to do. It's kind of full body, lower body, core, upper body, sideways resistance. And then we're gonna add a little jump if you want it at the end for some power. Left palm down, zone 1. Right palm up, zone 4. You're sideways to the anchor point. I'm gonna steer the cord end of the bar up towards the ceiling, make the bar vertical. I'm gonna step back with my right toe, and I'm gonna drop my knee straight down like I'm in an elevator, and I'm gonna step together. Steer, step the toe back, plant it, move vertically, straight down towards the floor, release the bar and step together. Now if you've got that, make it a little smoother. So step back, drop the back knee like you're gonna propose, turn that bar vertically as you come up. Now, the most favorite part, you can jump it. So find that lunge position, switch legs as you release, lunge, steer. Switch legs as you release, lunge, steer. 3, 2, 1, rest. Whew. Switch hands. So uncinch, slide the hand through, recinch, right palm down, left palm up. Oh my gosh, I gave us 30 seconds to breathe and I'm so glad that I did. We got time. Hang in there, all right? Left palm up, zone 4. So your hand should look like this, down at the right ends of the grips. I'm gonna steer the bar up. I'm gonna step back with my left foot. Here we go. Bar comes straight up. Left toe goes back. Find your balance. Those legs will figure it out. Drop the back knee, step together, and release the bar. Steer the bar up, cord to the sky, drop the back knee, and step together. Now, I just felt myself leaning, so I'm gonna come in just a little bit so I don't have that. Ooh, this is my not stable ankle, obviously. So make it smoother if you want to. If you're ready for the jump, take it back and hold the lunge. Release the bar as you switch legs, steer as you come back. Release the bar as you switch legs, steer as you come back. 3, 2, 1. Okay, put that bar down. Everybody, grab a quick sip. Whew. Get your mat out of the way. I'm gonna catch my breath. Don't worry about that beep. We got 10 seconds to get back to our straps for a figure 4 stretch. Stretch it out here. Grab your straps. Ooh, I gotta take it out of single handle mode. Sorry about that. Standing figure 4. Stand on the right leg, center it with the anchor, left ankle across, hinge at the hips. You know all about your hinge right now. With that hinge, you keep a nice straight spine, big hip bend, little knee bend, all right? Trying to keep my spine as straight as possible. It's really easy to round it here, and if you're extra mobile, it's really easy to arch. So you're trying to keep it in a straight line. So I'm gonna switch my left foot now in line with the anchor point. Elbows at my sides with the straps tight, crossing my right ankle over, dropping that knee to the side, hinging forward. You can come up and down or you can stay down there, it's up to you. If your arms feel shaky, feel free to lean back as you do this, or you can also do this seated on the floor. But because our heart rates are probably high from those last couple of moves, I'd like us to keep our head above our heart. Whew. All right, we've got an offset hip hinge with the right foot forward. So palms down. If you're really flexible in your hamstrings, scoop forward, hands at hip height. If you're not as flexible, scoop back. Right toe forward. Pull your left hip to the front. Hinge here, so big hip bend. You can have a little bit of a knee bend if you'd like. Shoot your hands towards the anchor point as you hinge forward. Tilt your tailbone to the back wall or up towards the sky if you can go further. Same idea, you can come up in between, do a couple of reps. And back to the top, switch legs. All right, so my legs are hip distance apart here. So when I step back, it's like my feet are on two different railroad tracks. They're not in the straight line on a tightrope, okay? You'll lose balance that way and throw off your hip alignment. Right hip forward, little knee bend, big hip bend. All right, with a straight spine. Now, say you get this far over and then you want to just round the rest of the way. You might notice that when you round, you kind of lose that stretch. And it's because if your tailbone tucks under, your hamstrings connect at your butt bones right there. So you want to tilt that tailbone back, stick those booties out, and get that back straight if you can. All right? And rest. From here, ooh, side lunge to Cossack. Love this one. I gave us a minute for this so we could sit in it. Elbows at your sides, feet really wide. I'm gonna start going this way so you can see both feet. Side lunge to the left. So I'm gonna bend my left knee, shift my hip over my left heel, pause here. I'm gonna turn my right toe up towards the ceiling and then sit back here. All right, so now if you can't keep your left heel flat, grab a hold of the foot cradles and lean back a little bit. That might help. You can take the left knee side to side here. Give it a little swooshy swoosh. We're just kind of sit in here. See if you can keep your back up nice and tall and then use your arms to pull yourself up. That was our halfway beep. To the other side now. Right side lunge. So bend the right knee forward. Shift your heel over your hips over your right heel. Turn your left toe up to the sky and then sit as far back as you can, keeping this right foot flat on the floor. I'm trying to lift my chest up so my back is straight. I'm gonna scrub the hip by taking this right knee, right and left. I'm gonna pull myself up. Whew. All right, I would do that for 5 more minutes if we had time, but I've only got 30 minutes and we're running low. Right quad stretch. So I'm gonna lean back with my feet together, drop my hips down to my heels. I'm gonna reach my left heel forward, shifting my weight forward. I'm gonna drop my right knee towards the floor and look up at my anchor. Now, if you already feel a stretch in this right quad, so the front of your thigh, stay there. If you want more, take that knee to the floor. Try to hide the ribs. If you want even more than that, press your hips up by squeezing that right booty. Shift your weight back on your right foot. You can stay down here or you can kind of stand up. If your grip is killing you, stand up and relax for a second. If not, we'll switch to the other side. So, body up nice and tall, looking at your anchor. Right heel is going to reach forward. Send your left knee towards the floor. Your weight kind of shifts into that right leg a little bit. I'm going to scoot back. If it feels like you're too far forward, scoot back a little bit. Chest is up. Left knee goes to the floor, or toward the floor or to the floor, depending on what you can do. And then you're going to press that left hip, or actually both hips, up in the air for a deeper stretch. Whoo! All right, guys. We are done. I'm sweaty. I don't know if you're sweaty. Hopefully you felt every part of your legs during that. And even though it was a strength workout and not a conditioning one, my heart rate was still really high. If you were pushing yourself, that might be the case for you too. If you guys have any questions, please let me know. Otherwise, I hope you have an amazing rest of your day. Thanks for joining.